Hi, my name's Lindsay. I'm going to be taking care of you and do a head-to-toe assessment on you today. What's your name?
Jakaya.
Okay. I'm going to start off by getting your temperature. Stick it under your tongue. .2, which is normal. It's good. Next, I'm going to go ahead and check your pulse and then your blood pressure. Just give me your wrist. Okay. Your pulse was 68 and your respirations were 18, which is good. Okay. All right. Okay. It was 112 over 68, which is normal. Alright. Next, I'm going to assess your skin throughout the exam, and I'm going to check your skin turgor. This checks to see your dehydration, or your hydration, and you're not dehydrated. I'm going to look at your nail color and check capillary refills, which should be less than 3 seconds. And it is. Okay. And I'm just going to expect color, shape, and I'm going to have you do the shamrock test. And this tells me if your nails are 160 degrees. And they're good. Okay. Next, I'm going to inspect your face. Or actually, I'm going to do your hair first. I'm just going to look to see distribution, if it's, excess or absent and evenly distributed, and it is. Next, I'm going to check your skull, look at your scalp, and make sure you have no abnormalities. And it looks good. Let me check it. Check this side. Okay. Now I'm going to palpate your skull. Any of that sore? No. Okay. Headband's falling off. I'm sorry. Okay. Alright. Next, I'm going to inspect your face, looking at your eyebrows, your nose, your eyes, and your palpebral fissure to make sure it's all even. And it looks good. Next, I'm going to palpate your frontal and maxillary sinuses. Does any of that hurt?
No.
Okay. palpate your face. Okay, looks good. Next, I'm going to I'm going to inspect your mouth and your nose. When looking at your nose, I'm checking for a deviated septum and can palpate it. Is any of that sore? Okay, I'm going to also check patency at this time too. Okay, breathe out. Okay, breathe out. Good. And now I'm going to look in your mouth. Okay, can you say ah?
Ah.
Okay, say ah again.
Ah.
Alright. I'm checking your teeth and to make sure that none of them are loose, you don't have any fillings. And when you say ah, I'm checking to see your uvula move up and down. And your Stinson ducts are up there on each side of your cheek. And can you stick your tongue up? Those are your Wharton ducts. Okay. Looks good. Okay. Next, I'm going to have you swallow a cup of water. I'm going to watch your trachea. Okay, perfect. You can just hold that for a second. Now I'm just going to feel to make sure it's in line. And palpate your neck muscles at this time too. Okay. Now I want you to turn your head, look to the side, and kind of down, and take a sip of the water. Hold on, and don't keep it in your mouth. Don't swallow it until I tell you to. Okay. Okay, look down a little bit. Okay, now swallow. Perfect. The other side. Look down. Swallow. Perfect. That is checking your thyroid, and I shouldn't be able to feel it, and I didn't. Okay. Next, I'm going to palpate for your temporal arteries, which are here, and your carotid. Okay. And then I already felt for your thyroid. Next, I'm just going to listen to them to check for any bruise. I'm going to use the bell of my stethoscope. Next, I'm just going to palpate your lymph nodes, and you have your pre-auricle, your post-auricle, your occipital, right back here. Then you have your retropharyngeal, and your submandibular, and your submental. Then you have your infraclavicular, or intraclavicular cervical chain. No. Yeah. And your infraclavicular deep cervical chain, and your posterior cervical chain. And then you have your intraclavicular and your posterior clavicular. Okay? And then now I'm just going to look at your ears. I'm going to palpate on your auricles and your trachea. No, any piercings. That hurts, right? Next, I'm going to look inside your ears with the otoscope. And I'm going to have to pull up and back. I'm looking for your eardrum. Pearly gray. That's normal. Okay, good. I'm also going to do the Weber's test and the Rhine test. The Weber's test, I'm going to bang this, I'm going to put it on the middle of your head, and you should hear it equally in both ears, okay? going to do the rhyme test, and I'm going to hit it, and I'm going to put it on your, on this bone right here. And then you should hear it, and then when you don't hear it anymore, tell me, and I'm going to put it next to your ear, and you should hear it twice as long, okay? Yep. That was good. Heard it first time for about 15 seconds, and the last one was about 30. Switch to see it. Good. Good. Alright. Okay. Next we're going to look at your eyes. And basically I'm just going to inspect your eyes. I'm just looking at the external structures. You can just look straight ahead. I'm going to look at them from the side. Next, I'm going to check your eyes for if your pupils are round, equal, reactive to light, and accommodate. So I just want you to look straight ahead, okay? They're equal, round, they react to light, and we're going to check accommodation. Now what I want you to do is look at this and look at something right behind me and then look back at this, okay? Next, I'm going to check the cover and uncover test, and what this checks is for lazy eye. So I'm just going to cover one of your eyes, and then I'm going to take it away and just look at your eye, okay? You don't have to do anything different. Perfect. Okay, next I'm going to look at your corneal light reflex, and just look straight at me. I'm just going to shine the light by your nose, on the bridge of your nose, and I should see the light reflection equally in both eyes, okay? Okay. The next one that I'm going to do is called consensual and directional and consensual. And basically what I do is put my hand on the bridge of your nose. I'm going to shine the light into one eye, and both eyes should constrict, okay? Okay. Perfect. All right, good. All right. Next I'm going to move on to your thorax. So I'm going to have you, well, you can just stay like that first. Can you just move your arms out a little bit? Okay, and what I'm going to look for is that you are twice the width of, or twice as long as your width, okay? And that's equal. So that's good. Also, this time I'm going to have you stand up and turn around. and I'm just gonna palpate your thorax, okay? You just tell me if you feel anything uncomfortable. Feels okay? Okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check for your tactile firmitis, and I'm just gonna have you say 99 each time you feel my hand touch your back, okay?
99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99.
Okay, good. And okay. Now I'm just gonna place my hands right here, and you just take a regular breath, okay?
Mhm.
Take a breath. Okay, do it again. All right, good. Okay. Next, I'm going to point out your lung sounds. Right here, you're gonna have tracheal, bronchial, bronchiovesicular, and vesicular. Okay. On the back, you're gonna have bronchial, bronchiovesicular, and vesicular. Okay. So now I'm just gonna listen to your lung sounds on your posterior side. And just breathe normally, okay? Okay. Now, every time that you feel my stethoscope touch your back, I want you to say 99. This is called Braconphony.
99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99.
Okay, good. All right, you can sit down. Next, I'm just going to have you lay down because I'm going to check your heart next. At this time, I'm just going to inspect. I'm going to get down to eye level and just, make sure I don't see any pulsations. Is it okay if I look at your shirt?
Mhm.
Okay. Make sure I don't see any pulsations or anything like that. Everything looks normal. Okay. Good. I'm just going to place the tape over all of your heart valves. Okay. At the second intercostal space on the right side will be your aortic. The second intercostal space on your left side will be your pulmonic. And at the third intercostal space is going to be your Erb's point. And at the fourth is going to be your tricuspid. I'll do that one down a little bit. And then also at the fourth, on your midclavicular line, is going to be your mitral. Sorry. Okay. And at your aortic and pulmonic, I'll hear S2 louder than S1. At Erb's point, you're going to hear them equally. And at the tricuspid and the mitral, I'm going to hear S1 louder than S2, okay? I'm going to listen to both of them with my bell and my diaphragm. That's good. So next I'm going to go ahead and do your abdomen. Well, actually, I'm going to point out all of your pulses first. You're going to have your temporal, then you're going to have your carotid, then you're going to have your brachial. It's on each elbow. Then I have your radial. So this one here. Okay. Then you have your dorsalis pedis, which is on the top of your foot. And then you have your posterior tibial. Alright, next I'm just going to look at your abdomen. Once again, I'm going to get at eye level, make sure I don't see any pulsations, and it looks good. Next, I'm going to divide your stomach into 4 quadrants. It's going to be just like that, and you have your right upper quadrant, your left upper quadrant, your left lower quadrant, and your left lower quadrant, and your right lower quadrant, okay? Next, I'm just going to listen in all 4 quadrants for vowel sounds, okay? This time I'm also going to listen for your any breathes that it might be in your arteries, and I'm going to check for your aortic, which is up here. Then you also have 2 renal, 2 iliac, and 2 femoral, which I'm not going to check your femoral. I'm going to listen for the other ones, okay? And use the belly and the diaphragm. Next, I'm going to percuss in all 4 of your quadrants, okay? Alright, so next I'm going to percuss your liver borders, okay? And it should be about 2 to 4 inches, okay? Yours is good. Yours is right at 2.5. That's good. Next, I'm going to palpate your liver and your spleen, okay? So, just put my hand right up underneath you. Now, what I want you to do is take a deep breath in and then let it out, okay? Alright, good. Do the same for your spleen. Take a deep breath in. Okay, good. I can feel it, and that's normal. Okay? And next, I'm going to palpate in all of your 4 quadrants of your stomach, okay? Of your abdomen. Just tell me if you feel any pain, okay? in just a second. You can go ahead and sit up though. And I'm going to check your musculoskeletal. And what I want you to do is, I'm just going to check some of your joints at first. And this is going to be your TMJ. So you can just open and close your mouth. Okay, good. And this will be your neck, your shoulders, your elbow. Does any of that hurt? Okay. And your wrist, your fingers, this one. Okay. Check your knees, your ankles, and your toes. Whole feet.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm just going to check your spine. I'm looking for C7. Just gonna, can you tilt your head down? Which is right there. That's C7. Okay, one back here, I'm going to also go ahead and percuss your thorax because I forgot to do that previously. Okay. Everything feels okay. Next, I'm going to check your musculoskeletal strength, and what I want you to do is I'm going to have you raise your arms against me, okay? Just take them right up to your head. Okay? Go ahead. Keep going, all the way up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Now, have them up and bring them back down. Perfect. Okay? Now I'm going to put my hand against your head, and I want you to push forward, okay? All the way down. Okay? And all the way back. Good. To the side. Okay? To the other side. Good. Now, can you scoot forward a little bit? Alright. Now, what I want you to do is try to push your legs out, okay? Okay? And try to pull them in. Good. Alright. Now I'm going to perform ROM, which is range of motion. And what I want you to do is look this way and look that way. Okay? Good. And take your arms all the way up like this. Try to take them all the way back. Okay? And can you cross them in the front? And cross them in the back. Okay? Now I'm going to have you just do your wrists like this. You can do your elbows too. Good. And you can move all your fingers. Okay? Now I'm going to have you stand up. And what I want you to do is take each leg, go front and back, and side and back. Okay?
Wait.
You do that one? Good. Okay? Now, can you point your toes and flex them? Alright, do the other one. Okay. And in and out. Good. Okay. You can go ahead and sit back down for a few minutes. I'm going to ask you some, we're going to test your neuro, which is your neurological, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions and you just answer them, okay? What's your name?
Jakaya.
Okay, do you know where you're at?
The nursing building.
Do you know what day it is?
The 15th April.
Okay, do you know what day of the week?
Tuesday.
Okay, good. Now I'm going to, your recent memory, I'm going to give you 3 words, and I just want you to memorize them and then repeat them back to me later on in the exam, okay? Red, dog, and food. Okay, can you say them?
Red dog food.
Alright, good. And now your recent memory, when is your birthday?
October 13th, 1993.
Past memory. And your present memory for who is the president?
Obama.
Okay, good. Next, I'm going to test your cerebellum function. So, what I'm going to have you do is stand up, and I want you to just do the tandem walk, and that's heel to toe, heel to toe. Turn around a little bit and come back, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, Stromberg test. And what you're going to do is you're just going to stand here and you're going to close your eyes and just try to stand without moving, okay? With your feet together. During this, I'm going to look to see if you're swaying or anything like that. And if you're not, you're doing good. Okay? Awesome. Now I'm going to have you do one more test, and I want you to stand on one leg with your eyes closed.
That's more
Kind of hard? Yeah. Okay, switch and do the other. Difficult when you have to close, yeah. Okay, good. Next, I'm going to, okay, can you tell me those 3 words?
Red dog food.
Perfect. Okay. Next, you can sit back down. Next, I'm going to have you do an upper cerebellum function, and I'm going to have my finger out. And every time I want you to touch it, okay? With your finger, okay? Okay. Good. Okay. Next, I want you to take your shin and run it down, or your shin, your foot, your heel, and run it down your shin. Good. Do the other one. Perfect. All right. Next, we're going to do sensory, and this is called light touch. And all I'm going to do is touch it with this cotton ball, and every time you feel it, I want you to tell me. Just say now or something. Okay? Can you close your eyes? Perfect. Okay. The next one is called dull or sharp. So I'm going to have you close your eyes and you just tell me which one you feel, okay? I'm going to give you an example of what it is, okay? That's going to, close your eyes.
Sorry.
That's going to be dull. That's going to be sharp, okay?
Dull. Sharp. Dull. Sharp. Sharp. Dull. Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Sharp. Dull. Sharp. Dull. Dull. Sharp. Sharp.
Good. Okay. Next, I'm going to do your discriminatory, and the first one is called stereognosis. So you're just going to close your eyes, and I'm going to give you an object, and I'm going to put it in your hand. You're just going to tell me what it is, okay, without opening your eyes.
It's a key.
Good. Okay, give me the other hand. Perfect. Okay. The next one I'm going to do is called graphesthesia, and I'm just going to draw, the first one I'm going to do a letter, and I'm going to draw it in one of your hands, and you're just going to tell me what that letter is. The next one I'm going to do is a number, and you just got to tell me what that number is, okay? So can you close your eyes and open your hands up?
Okay. Two.
Perfect. Alright. And the last one is going to be point localization. And what you do in this is I'm just going to have you close your eyes again, and I'm going to touch you. And every time you feel me touch you, just tell me where it's at, okay?
Shoulder. Elbow. Wrist. Finger. Thigh. Knee. Leg. Foot.
Good. Okay. Next, I'm going to check your reflexes. So the first one, if you can just, we'll just have you sit down and find you best that way. So I'm just going to come on this side and do this one first. And pull your arm back. And I want you to like push your arm up, like raise it like that. Okay. Good. Okay, now relax. Now I just want you to completely relax, okay? Good. Do the same one with this one. that's your triceps. Next, I'm gonna do your biceps and try to pull your arm up. Pull it up. Okay, good. You can relax now. Good. Same with this one. Pull it up. Okay, you can relax. Good. Okay. Now this one is going to be your brachioradialis, and now I just need you to like lift your hand like this. Okay, good. Just relax it. Okay, do it again. Okay, good. Good. Pull your hand up. Okay. Good. Okay. Next, I'm going to check your patellar, so if you can just make sure your feet aren't touching the ground. And just relax, okay?
Oh God.
Did it feel funny? Okay, good. Good. Okay. For this next one, I'm just going to have you sit in this chair, okay? I'm going to have you put your knees in the chair and have your feet hanging off on the end, okay?
Okay.
This is your Achilles. You have good reflexes. There we go. Good. Okay, sit back down. Okay. Next, make sure I've done everything. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and have you do. I'm gonna go ahead and do the smell test. And this is for your cranial nerve 1, which is your olfactory. So what I'm going to have you do is close your eyes, and I'm going to have you smell something on each one, okay? And you just tell me what you smell.
Okay. Cinnamon.
Good.
Vanilla.
Yes. Good job. Okay, the second one is your cranial nerve 2, and that's your optic. And I already had you do the Rosenbaum test. Now I just want you to do the Rosenbaum test, which is I just want you to read this first paragraph, hold it about 14 inches away from your face, and just read it to me, okay? Or you can just do this little paragraph right there.
Regular physical activity can help you sleep better at night, strengthen your muscles and bones, lose weight, and have fun. And it can also lessen the development and progression of chronic diseases and disabling conditions.
Okay, good job. And that test is your optic nerve. Okay, the next one is cranial nerve 3, which is your ocular motor, cranial nerve 4, which is your trochlear, and cranial nerve 6, which is your abducens. And what I need for this one is, I'm just going to have you stand up, and I'll have you cover your eye, just cover one, same with you, and what I want you to do is tell me whenever you can see my hand, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And just look at me straight ahead, okay?
No. No. No.
Okay, keep that same eye covered, okay?
No. No. No.
Okay, good. Now switch. Okay,
No. No. No.
okay,
No. No.
good.
No.
Good. Okay, next one is going to be the H test, and what I want you to do, you can sit down, I guess. Okay, now I want you to just follow this, just with your eyes, okay? Good. Okay. Next is going to be your cranial nerves 5, which is your glossopharyngeal, and your cranial nerve. Oh wait, I'm gonna use this time to look at my cards for the end because I'm not sure. Okay. 6, which is your glossopharyngeal and your vagus. And what I did to test for this was have you swallow the water and also say ah. Okay? And then cranial nerve 7, which is the accessory nerve. I'm going to have you shrug your shoulders. Good. Okay. And for I totally just messed those up. Okay, we're gonna start over on your cranial nerves because I did them wrong. Okay, your cranial nerve 1 was your olfactory, and that was the smell test. Your cranial nerve 2 was the optic, and your cranial nerve 3 was the ocular motor, and the oh my goodness, I'm going to find it. Okay. Cranial nerve 1, ocular motor, or olfactory. Cranial nerve 2 is your optic. Cranial nerve 3 is the ocular motor. Cranial nerve 4 is your trochlear. Cranial nerve 6 is the abducens. Cranial nerve 5 was the yes, it was your trigeminal, and I did that with the sensory, with the cotton ball on your face. Cranial nerve 6 was cranial nerve 6 was your abducens. Cranial nerve 7 is the facial. So during this one, I just want you to smile. Okay, puff your cheeks out. And show your teeth. Okay, good. And cranial nerve 8, I'm going to have you, it's your vestibulocochlear, and that was done during the Romberg test. And cranial nerve 9 is the cranial nerve 9 and 10. Cranial nerve 9 is glossopharyngeal, cranial nerve 10 is vagus, and at this time I'm going to have you do a taste test. Okay, what I want you to do is just close your eyes, and I'm going to put a series of different things on your tongue in different spots, and you just tell me what it is, okay? Can you stick your tongue out? Open up a little bit wider. Need a little bit more?
Oh, that's cinnamon?
Yeah, good job. Okay.
Sugar?
Good. Does it? Yeah, good job. Okay. Your cranial nerve 11 is the accessory one, and basically this is going to be your shoulder shrug. If you can just shrug your shoulders. Okay. And cranial nerve 12 is your hypoglossal, and on this one I just want you to put your tongue to your cheek. Okay? Easy. Good. Do this one. Okay? Good. Alright, let me just make sure I've done everything. And I think that's everything. So, thank you for your time, and